Have you ever done anything where you're genuinely not sure whether or not you're going to be able to complete it? Well, today we're about to find out, because I'm about to try and set the course record on the Yorkshire Beast. The Yorkshire Beast is arguably the UK's hardest sportive. It's over 200 miles and over 5,600 metres of climbing. It does 100 miles in the Yorkshire Moors and it does 100 miles in the Yorkshire Dales. It's absolutely brutal. To get the course record, I'm going to have to do it in about 11 hours, 30 minutes. The target, get as close to 11 hours as humanly possible. Fresher William's going to talk you through the course, talk you through the climbs. Let's check in. Let's quickly go through the course and the main climbs. So, you do the Moor side first, 100 miles, roughly 2,500 metres climbing. You do the Dale side second, another 100 miles, again, roughly the same elevation. The main climbs on the Moor side are Boltby Bank, which you go up first. Boltby Bank is very steep, goes straight up. You're looking at anywhere between about 6 and 10 minutes, depending on your climbing abilities. Then you do Kildale and Commondale. Kildale and Commondale are not particularly bad. Kildale is a couple of hairpins, quite steep, but only a few minutes. Commondale, again, relatively steep, one hairpin, and then it drags on up to the top of it. Then you've got two main climbs on the moors, which are Caper Hill, also known as Glaisdale Horror, and Rosedale Chimney. You'll tackle Caper Hill first. It is very steep and the surface is not great. You're looking at somewhere between 7 and 13 minutes, let's say, depending on your climbing ability again. It's a tough climb. There's no getting away from it. It's a tough climb. Try and stay seated on that one best you can. You'll just find it easier to smooth out the rough surface. Then you get to Rosedale Chimney, perhaps the most iconic climb on the whole route. Try and enjoy it if you can. It's such an iconic climb. It is very, very steep. The hairpin in particular, if you can, go wide, then straight up. So you're talking about 33% after the hairpin. Then off that, you'll descend off Rosedale Chimney and pretty much from there back to Thirsk flat. Then on the Dale side, main climbs, Greenhow to start with. Greenhow is very steep to start with, then levels off, then there's another steep pitch. 10 to 15 minutes. Then the next climb of note in the Dales is Park Crash. Again, Park Crash is an iconic climb. You can see it coming from a way back. Then you'll descend down to it. You'll go straight up. It's steep hairpin again, and then a little steep section, flattens off. You'll go round to the right, to the left, steep section to finish. You're looking again anywhere between, let's say, 7, 8 and 15, 16 minutes, again, depending on your climbing ability. Then the penultimate climb is Flow Edge. Flow Edge really isn't too bad. It's more of a gradual climb with not too many steep pitches, maybe like 15, 16 minutes, something like that. Then the last climb is Grinton Moor, which you'll hit Reef, you'll go past Dales Bike Centre, and then you'll go up Grinton Moor. Now, Grinton Moor is quite steep to begin with, but you'll get to a cattle grid, get over that cattle grid, and then it's relatively flowing and undulated actually after that. If you've got any legs left at this point of the course, spend them on the first part of Grinton Moor. And once you get past that cattle grid, you're going to just gradually get up to the top, and then off the top of Grinton Moor, you go to Leyburn, you turn left, you head back to Thirsk. Chances are you'll have a tailwind. You'll get home fast. I genuinely don't know if I'm actually going to be able to do this. It's 11 hours of riding hard in some of the toughest terrain in the UK. The strategy is simple. Fuel, and fuel a lot. 500 grams for the first half, meet Tom halfway, 500 grams for the second half. After that, be aero, do the climbs just above threshold, ride top of zone 2, zone 3 the rest of the time. So with no further ado, let's get ready, let's get cracking, and let's get straight into it. Right, let's get this party started. We set off from Thirsk at 5 AM sharp, and having had to go back to get the bottles I left in my tent in the chaos, I was already weaving through the crowd on my way to Boltby Bank. Boltby Bank isn't pleasant on any day, never mind at 5 AM with 200 miles on the cards. I climbed Boltby well within my limits to make sure I didn't waste any bullets so early in the day. From Boltby onto the moors through Hornby and Osmotherley, I had some company for a brief period of time. This section of the course isn't too taxing. The terrain is relatively undulating with some nice descents that aren't technical. The roads are local to me, so I knew the area well, and you get a chance to soak in the North York Moors in all its glory.
It was just 2 lovers.
Right, 45k in, going well so far, fueling's alright. We've done Boltby Bank, we've done Hornby towards Motherley, got about 30k-ish now, well we can push on. Alright, let's go!
Kildale and Commondale are not too difficult. Whilst they're both short and sharp, what they lack in length, they make up for in the views and fast flowing descents you get off the top on your way over to Castleton.
She moves like a map with no borders, a whisper caught in the wind. I see her boots at the corner cafe, with a notebook and a grin. She's chasing skies I've never named, while I stay in my lane. But something in the way she moves keeps pulling at my chain. Oh, traveler, you carry the sun in your stride, leaving behind.
Right, that's Kildale and Commondale done. Now it's time for the main event, Caper Hill and Rosedale Chimney.
Caper Hill is hard. It's rough. It's steep. At this point I was still feeling good and I was managing to ride within my limits. On the approach to Rosedale Chimney, the weather turned. The rain came down hard, the temperature dropped, and the wind just forced that chill into you. Any traction that you might have hoped for on those 33% slopes were gone. I was still feeling pretty good and managed to ride the climb within my limits again, but the going was tough at this point.
Right, that's one more's done. We're on to the Dales now. It's going to be a big headwind down to Paley Bridge, so we're going to get head down, push on. Ooh. When you're doing an event like this, you're always going to have a bad patch. This is my bad patch for a moment. 180k in, and just starting to struggle a little bit. This first section of the Dales is just all into a headwind all the way to Greenhow, and I'm just suffering a little bit. Come on, we can do this. Right then, Greenhow. This one's not going to be pretty.
Greenhow was a low point. I'd wasted energy in the headwind and hadn't left myself enough in the tank for the climbing to come. Even the descent off the top of Greenhow required energy and pressure on the pedals to get any kind of speed. By Park Rush I was starting to come round a little bit. My power on the steep sections was fine, but on the false flat I was just letting off a gas way too much. Flow Edge is a climb that you can actually recover on a little. It's gradual and long, so it doesn't require the kind of torque that Park Rash does.
I've lost so much time in the Dales. The wind has just been relentless, but now it's literally just Grinton Moor, and that's it. About a fast tailwind finish. Come on, this is it. We're on Grinton Moor. If I can get over this and not crack, I think I'll pretty much be there. Might be close, but we'll have a tailwind back. I think that'll make the difference.
I was in a good place on Grinton Moor. Whilst I knew I'd lost time with the wind, I also knew that it was a final push before the tailwind to the finish. All I had to do was get over the top, and then it was going to be a fast finish. Hello again. It's the day after the Yorkshire Beast and every single part of my body hurts. So I ended up doing the course in a chip time of 11 hours, 24 minutes and 17 seconds. And at the time, we thought that was the course record, as you can see. We were absolutely elated, delighted, couldn't believe it, couldn't have been prouder of the effort because the conditions, as we'll talk about in a bit, were absolutely savage. But it turns out that is not quite the case. So somebody very kindly sent me a message this morning pointing out that, which has been completely overlooked, that in 2021, David Parkin did a time of 11 hours, 15 minutes and 51 seconds chip time. That is the course record, meaning that I missed out on the course record by about just under 9 minutes, 8.5 minutes. Now, at the time, the Velo 29 guys thought the course record was 11 hours and 28 minutes. So hence the posts. And we thought that I'd broken the course record by 4 minutes. So for the avoidance of doubt, and if anybody wants to have a crack at the course record in future, the official course record of the Yorkshire Beast was set by David Parkin in 2021, and it is 11 hours, 15 minutes and 51 seconds, which is a fantastic time. So congratulations posthumously to David for that time, and we must credit him officially for the record. So how do I feel about it? Well, not frustrated by any means, because your effort over that kind of time is dictated to, for a large part, by the conditions on the day. And I gave absolutely everything that I had. I set a really good time regardless, so I'm still extremely proud of the ride and the effort, which was now second place in the so-called history books, not first. A little bit deflated, because ultimately when you work so hard to achieve something and you, for all intents and purposes, think you have achieved it, to then find out actually it's not quite the case, it is a little bit deflating, especially once you've Posted it on social media for the whole world to see. But hey, that ship has now sailed. So what I would like to hear from everybody is, I get your thoughts and views on whether or not sportives should keep track or keep account of course records. So I think they should. Now, I'm not sure why some do, some don't. And my best guess as to why they don't, and the Velo 29 guys tend not to keep records of what the fastest times on the course is. My best guess as to why is that it's very clear that a sportive is not a race. I think they should publish course records. One, because it encourages people at the top end of the sport, like myself and David, obviously back in 2021, to go and do the events and to really push themselves and challenge themselves to try and beat those times. Secondly, records are there, regardless of the event, to be beaten and to be challenged for. And then thirdly, if you do hold that course record, as David does for the Yorkshire Beast, you should be incredibly proud of yourself. I think it would encourage more people at the top end of the sports to enter the events, to support the events and the local companies that put them on, and ultimately it gives a little bit more prestige to the course or to the event itself. I don't think it encourages people to race them, especially a course like, say, the Yorkshire Beast in this case. It is quite frankly just too long and too outrageous for people to race it. So if you're going for a record, you are doing it in the knowledge that you are doing it as a fully solo day out. We'd really like to hear from everybody. What do you think? Should the course records be set out really clearly beforehand so that it allows people like myself to go out with the intention of breaking that course record? Let me know in the comments. So, where was the course record lost? The Dales. I lost it in the Dales. I covered the first half, so the 100 miles of North York Moors, in just over 5 hours at just shy of 31 kilometres an hour. So I was well up on course record. Indeed, I was on course to go sub 11 at that point, and I was still feeling good. The record was lost in the Dales. The conditions were savage. If you did it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The wind was a direct westerly and it was hard. It was brutal. The winds were between 20 and 30 miles an hour with gusts going up and above that. And once you leave Thirst to start the second half of the Dales, you're going direct due west all the way up to Pateley Bridge, up Greenhow, and then all the way down Greenhow and all the way to Grassington, where you'll turn right. It's a long stretch, and the wind was so strong that it just made that section so slow. Okay, so I found a Strava segment for the second half of the course, which emphasises the difference between myself and David in the Dales and shows just how much time I lost. So let's go through it. So you can see here we are at Thirsk, and we're going to go gradually down towards Pateley Bridge and then up Greenhow and along to Grassington. Now you can see I am gradually losing time here, already 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you get onto this long exposed stretch past Pateley Bridge, up Greenhow and beyond, and then just look how much time I'm losing here, already 11 minutes, 12 minutes, and you can see the speed difference between us as well. Now as we carry on going, so David's already got there to Grassington and turn right, and by the time I get to the right hand turn, I've lost 19 minutes on that section alone. And then you turn right at Grassington, and again you're quite exposed at that point, so you're really subject to the crosswinds and you're getting hit and you're getting battered. And as you have seen from the footage, I had my rough patch within that as well, so I was struggling a little bit. I was starting to suffer slightly and I just lost so much time. So by the time you get to Grinton Moor and you descend down to Leyburn and then turn back towards Thirsk, you've just lost too much time to be able to make it up in the tailwind. Like, of course, the tailwind section with the wind, super fast, crazy fast. For the last 30k, I think I averaged about 40 kilometers an hour, for instance. So I did obviously make up time and speed at that point. But because the wind is so strong, you're never going to make up the amount of time required to through that tailwind section, but you've lost in the headwind section. You've just gone too slow. So it sounds like a lot. It sounds like I've missed out on it by a lot, 8.5 minutes. But from that distance and that period of time, it's not actually a huge amount of time. So, I mean, it's a lot of would have, could have, but I think with better conditions, I would have gone faster. So the only way to find out is to go back next year. So Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to go back next year and have another crack at the record and try and set it once and for all, and even set yourself a proper challenge, go sub 11 hours. Okay, so we're going to end the video here. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're thinking about doing the Yorkshire Beast in future years, I would highly recommend it. Be ready for a tough day out, but the sense of achievement you'll get will be fantastic. Please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. This is a new adventure for me. It's a new channel, so all the support I can get will be greatly appreciated, and it will help me to continue making performance related content going forwards. See you in the next one.